The infamous Lion Man sculpture. A 40,000-year-old sculpture in ivory made by hominids, human hands. In my opinion, this was a Neanderthal work. It could be Homo sapien, but no one knows. It was found in Statel Cave, an obscure cave that was infrequently habited. So for some reason, and it was north-facing, the people that lived here were in harsh conditions hiding out. And this figurine was left. One of exquisite artistic precision. Now remember, this is 40,000 years old and still with this quality. Just look at some of the details here on the limb of the figure and the ears. Absolutely spectacular. Now recently, a paper coming out in just the last few weeks, a 51,000-year-old carved bone is one of the world's oldest works of art. So 10,000 years prior, there is some spectacular carving going on here. And here is the evidence of that. It's clearly not a pendant or something like that. This is coming from Thomas Terberger, a professor and prehistoric archaeologist at the University of Göteborg in Germany, who was a co-author of the study on the object in the Journal of Nature, Ecology, and Evolution. It's clearly a decoration with a kind of symbolic character. You might even call it the initial start of art, but I don't believe this for 1 second. I think this is a secondhand piece of art that everyone owned. And we'll get to that. But there is good news. They're actually calling Neanderthals true artists and not just, hunter-gatherers. Now, Neanderthal artists made the oldest known cave paintings, and over the last several decades, we've uncovered these. But this is one of the oldest known cave paintings ever. And we're not talking Lascaux Cave. We're talking 10,000 years prior. And some of the oldest cave art ever unearthed. And it's fascinating. So let's just take a look for a second at the cave where this art was found. Shall we?
Have a second chance to make a first impression. And this is the problem the Neanderthals have had for more than 150 years.
Ever since the discovery of Neanderthal fossils in the 19th century, Neanderthals have had rather bad press. In fact, the original name for Neanderthals was proposed as Homo stupidus, the stupid human, and people have variously portrayed them rather gorilla-like and incapable of belief systems and symbolic thought. What we find here is evidence of Neanderthal painting, not only just smearing pigments on the wall, but actually painting something that is symbolic, that represents something.
This panel comprises of various components, so you can see red lines that form squares. Inside these rectangles that formed by these lines, you can actually see animal paintings. So here's the back half of an animal. We don't know what type of animal it is. And here, very fading, is a front part. Here's a hand of an animal, the legs.
What I was just showing you is some of the oldest cave art. And the fact that the world's oldest art was found in Indonesian cave about 10 years ago, and it continues to be broken, those records. I'll also leave you links to the Lion Man and Ice Age masterpiece to get you up to speed on the Lion Man if you're interested in that topic. But what I want to bring your focus on is the oldest cave art found in Sulawesi. Now, you saw from that earlier video that we used to think of the Neanderthal as, well, less than human. But in this Sulawesi cave, and we reported on this just recently, the artwork dates back to 44,000 years. So they're saying that these scratches are significant. But let's just go back 44,000 years and look at some of the art that's happening in these caves. Look at this depiction of obviously a bovine to scale with the right legs and size. And it's just fascinating to see how wrong we are. If this is a 44,000 year depiction of an animal on planet Earth from a Neanderthal, this wasn't the first depiction of that. It would take decades, hundreds of years, or generations to pass down this knowledge, to be able to put different colors of pigments, to get the shape correct, to do it all in a cave, for goodness sakes. And probably do it in some fashion where it's also depicting cosmology. 44,000 years ago. Now, how could this even be possible? Well, it's possible because you were never taught about cosmic catastrophe and the cosmic clock. And this is the cosmic clock you're looking at now. Now, this is not new science. It's the oldest science in the book. And Neanderthals 44,000 years ago knew about the precessional cycle and the great year. They knew about astrology. They knew about this cycle. They knew about the Iron Cross. The Hopi medicine wheel is the same symbol. The Christian cross is the same symbol. This symbol has been used, in my opinion, for over 150,000 years. And in modern science, we can now overlay all of the geologic evidence we know right onto this precessional cycle. And for those that are interested, we are sitting right on this flexure point, entering the age of Aquarius. 25,920 years before present was the Younger Dryas catastrophe. And that's a boom. And not only that, it was the onset of the late Wisconsinian Ice Age. A full precessional cycle before that was the Heinrich event. And 2 precessional cycles before that was the Greenland Blitz, all on this flexure point. You picking it up? Astrology is the oldest science known to man. Well, and the Neanderthals in Indonesia were well aware of it. And this has something more to do with the cosmic clock than you could ever imagine. The artwork speaks for itself. And the Lion Man has everything to do with the age of Leo and astrology. Yes. The age of Leo is here, etc. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. When the cultures that lived 50,000 years ago, multiple cosmic catastrophes ago, knew what was happening. And we now know that the flexure point here is a magnetic excursion point. Not a magnetic reversal, but a magnetic excursion has happened time and time again on this flexure point. What say you? Now, the ancients, they were working on experience, and they had the experience of the known magnetic excursions. Handed down time immemorial. The Lechamp, the Vostok, the North Atlantic almost took out all of the world. The bottleneck during this event could have shrunk populations to as little as 10,000 people on the entire planet. Then followed the Vostok and the Lechamp. And most of this discovery of art happened after the Lechamp magnetic reversal. Those that were still in the know wanted to keep the information alive. And then we come to the Gothenburg magnetic excursion or the Younger Dryas event, and we see the same thing with Göbekli Tepe. The information trying to be kept alive. The same bas relief we saw 45,000 years ago was expressed in Göbekli Tepe with the animal effigies on the pillars. This is the most ancient science, and it's called astrology, and it's calling into question the cosmic catastrophe clock cycle. Now, as a scientist, a geologist, and a paleoclimatologist, I want to know what the mechanism is, as well as you. It's definitely the sun. And it's definitely a solar outburst. And I think it's a period of time where the sun outbursts for a long period. And those are reported in petroglyphs worldwide. And we report on them all the time. Hope you got something out of the video. This is a primer to things to come. More information coming. We're not here to scare you. We're here to prepare you. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. When the information has been known for eons. Well, and the geology is being put together on the clock. And the ancients, well, 40,000 years ago, were warning us about the ages. Be safe. We love you. That's a boon to knowledge. Click on one of the other boxes to get up to speed. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And be safe. We love you. Thanks to all our one-time donors, our Patreons. And stay tuned. We have some amazing announcements coming soon, including an interview with Paul Laviolette, author of many books, including Earth Under Fire, like a funeral pyre.